So our third tutorial here regarding functions and forms will we'll work with parameters here, and I'm back on the W3 Schools website here, and so we in our previous video we looked at just some simple function syntax, and we learned a little bit more about the forms and text boxes and the DOM model and the document. We're working with more of a global scope for our declarations. Here we're going to just use arguments, and we're going to go ahead and pass arguments from the main part of our program up until our function. All right, and so this I'm not going to go through this right here, but I want you to read through this and try to make some sense out of it. And then I also want you to look on page 624 of the Snyder text and make sure you read through that as well and see how you can pass a parameter from your main application into a function. And you might look at it and say, well, why do I need to do that? Well, think of this. Sometimes you have functions. In fact, most programs that you write in JavaScript, you're going to have a whole just a JS file with all your JavaScript code in it. Very common for programmers to do this. You have your user interface in one HTML application, and then in a JavaScript application you have you've included your functions. All right. Well, let's go back. We still have the same. Is this 5.6? Let me close some things out here. Yeah, so I got this closed out, this closed out. Okay, so we're working with example 5.8 here, heads and tails. Which that's not right. It is still 5.6. Let's fix that. All right. So I have. I'm gonna just do I got the same example we worked with before, and I think I have the. Where's my editor? Yeah, we'll open it up here. Okay. Excuse me while I scramble to find this. All right, so this is example. Here's what we were working on our previous video, and we did example 5.8. That looks correct. So let me pull that up again. I don't think I have the right file pulled up here. Excuse me, I got too many windows open. And we'll open this up in Firefox. We'll keep using Firefox. All right, so it's example 5.8, temperature conversion. And in this, just quick review here, we created two functions, one called C2F, where we actually worked with the DOM model. We had document.form1.textbox1 to identify this particular form in this particular text box. And we had to, because we were outside the body of our HTML document using a function, we had to use a more global naming and a complete name for those two controls out there. All right, so let me do this now. We had text box 1, text box 2, and what we want to do with this now is when text box 1 changes, we're going to just send this function a value. All right, and we got C to F and F to C. So we're going to send it just a temperature, and the temperature is going to be whatever is in text box 2 dot text box 1 dot value. All right. And so really that's the Celsius degrees where application, here's text box 1, so we're going to send it whatever. When that changes, we're going to send this function text box 1.value because that's coming out of this particular control. All right, and instead of writing all this stuff, let me get rid of this here. Okay, we're going to kind of come up with a new function here, and we're going to use something that first, we're going to get input into this function. Interesting word to use, huh? But we can get input there, and I'm going to call this the temperature. And I'll use the same notation as what your author uses. So he says temperature in Celsius, temp in C, and notice it is case sensitive. That's important. All right, and what we're going to do is we'll return a value. Whoops. And so the way that function works is that we send it some input and it returns or outputs something to us. All right, and what we're going to do with that is we're going to send. So here we're still going to say, okay, take text box 2.value. We're going to change it to equal whatever comes back from this function. All right, so we're going to send up this function to text box 1.value, and it will return to us some new value. And the new value it's going to return will be what? Well, let's take 9 divided by 5 times, look at the way my declaration is now. It's a local declaration. Okay, so whatever input I gave it here, okay, 9 times 5, and the variable is temp in Celsius plus 32. So I'm going to save that now. Let's check to see if we have any, and really we're not changing the program or anything, but we're looking at how to utilize these new tools called functions. So I'll do my refresh here. And when I change this here, let's try and change this to 100. It works. Okay, change it to 212. All right, we'll go back over here and we'll make the same change down in this value as well. Okay, so we're gonna return something. In fact, let me do this just as an experiment here. Let's return just some characters just to see how this works. All right, so if I go down here and I call on F, now on change we're just going to say go call F to C. Watch what happens here, and this of course isn't going to work right because it's going to put in, we need to change this a little bit, so text box 1.value is going to equal, oops, single quote. We'll just put whatever F to C does. All right, let's watch that. All right, so let's do, oops, I do refresh first. And then no matter what I put in here, anytime I change it, it's going to say ABC over there, or it should. Well, I don't think I saved that appropriately. F to C to F, F to C. I save it, Control S. Okay, so to go back through here, oh, here's our problem right here. We want to make text box 1.value equal to whatever F to C returns, and F to C is going to return just ABC, just to kind of note the functionality of this. All right, so we go over here and oops, change this. Let's change this to something. Refresh, and we'll just change this to 22. What does that return? That's interesting. We got another little turn, returns text box 1.value. We got a little logic error here. So on change, it should take text box 1.value, and it should display. I'm sorry, it should display whatever F to C returns. So it should be, there we go, text box 1.value will equal to whatever value F to C returns. Okay, so let's check that out. I believe that'll work. Refresh that, we'll change the value in here to something different. Okay, so that half works. So let's just change this now to there. Okay, so it's what I'm trying to do is just demonstrate to you that you can return different things in a function. All right, so anytime we change this here, we'll continue to change this back, put 12 in there, and that of course does a conversion. And then over here, if I just put anything in here, it's just going to always return ABC, which is what the function is told to do right now. Hope I didn't confuse you there. Anyways, let's go back to this now. So what I want to return here is not ABC, but what I want to return here is, what would it be, 5 divided by 9 times, and what are we sending it? We want to send it here to temperature and F, right? And so down here I got to say, okay, text box value, text box 1.value is going to be equal to, we're doing F to C here, whatever's in text box 2.value, and that will be passed on to the F to C function, and then it comes in here as, now note this is a little tricky, it comes in as temp in Fahrenheit. We're going to return 5 divided by 9 All right, and then we got to put this in parentheses again. Let's be consistent here. The other one we had a capital I, so this one we'll use a capital I as well. A little trick that allows you to, instead of have spaces, identify different words. All right, so temp in Celsius, so I'm sorry, temp in Fahrenheit minus 32, and end the quotes. All right, so we should have, if we didn't make any syntax errors here, we'll take a quick look. I'll save, Control S to save, F5 refresh, and I'll put some value in here. Tab. Okay, so it looks about right. Remember, 20 degrees is 68 Fahrenheit. So over here, let's change something here now. Let's change this to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and there, it seems to work. 12. Okay, it seems to work both ways. All right, so recap quickly here. We're creating a JavaScript, and we are now using functions, and we are actually passing parameters back from our main program into the function, and then the function is returning a value to us.